Welcome to the first episode of Chasing the Past. Have you ever thought to yourself, man, what happened to that racehorse? I used to love to watch this and see him race. Or I saw that horse race in person. Did he flop at stud? Did he produce great babies? What happened to this horse? Well, this show is dedicated to that type of thought. I often think about that. Man, what happened to that horse? Well, we're here to answer all those questions with Chasing the Past. We're starting it off with Gato del Sol. Every year, one horse joins the Immortals as a Kentucky Derby champion. But not all of them stay in the spotlight. Some fade into racing history. Their names are rarely mentioned beyond just trivia questions. Today we're talking about one of the forgotten champions, Gato del Sol, a Derby winner who defied expectations, skipped the Preakness, spent time in Europe before making a quiet return home. This is the story of the 1982 Kentucky Derby winner, Gato del Sol. Gato del Sol was born in 1979 at Stone Farm in Kentucky. His sire was Cougar II, who was a Chilean-bred turf star, and his dam was named Peacefully, which gave him a mix of stamina and class. But let's be honest, he wasn't exactly the superstar on paper. Trained by Eddie Gregson, Gato del Sol didn't show much brilliance early on. He had talent, sure, but he wasn't the kind of horse that had people circling the Kentucky Derby on their calendar. As a 2-year-old, Gato del Sol was solid but unspectacular. He won a couple races, but didn't set the world on fire. However, he did finish second in the prestigious Norfolk Stakes and fourth in the Hollywood Futurity, showing some signs of promise heading into the 3-year-old season. As a 3-year-old, Gato del Sol was a little bit under the radar. His biggest pre-Derby moment came in the San Felipe Handicap, where he ran well enough to convince his connections he belonged in the Kentucky Derby. But let's be real. Most people weren't paying that much attention to Gato del Sol. The heavy favorite heading into the Derby was Linkage, a colt trained by Hall of Famer Henry Clark, who had just won the Bluegrass Stakes in dominant fashion. Gato del Sol wasn't even the best horse in his own trainer's barn. That title belonged to Laser Light, another Gregson trainee who many thought had a better shot to win the Kentucky Derby. But as we've seen time and time again, anything can happen when the horses line up at Churchill Downs. And then came May 1, 1982. A packed Churchill Downs crowd watched as the horses broke from the gate. Gato del Sol, under jockey Eddie Delahousse, was in no rush early and hanging back in the field. But as the pace heated up, Delahousse took him to the outside, making a long, sustained run from nearly dead last. Down the stretch, the leaders were gasping for air, and here came Gato del Sol, storming past them like a freight train. At 21-1, Gato del Sol pulled off the upset, giving trainer Eddie Gregson and owner Hancock III their first and only Derby winners. It was a masterful ride by Eddie Delahousse, who would go on to win back-to-back Derbies, taking the 1983 edition with Sonny's Halo. But that's where Gato del Sol's story takes an unexpected turn. Like every Derby winner, pretty much, they go on to Baltimore to race in the Preakness. Instead of heading to Baltimore for the Preakness, his connections made the rare decision to skip it entirely and go straight to the Belmont Stakes. Why? They believed Gato del Sol was better suited for the 1.5-mile distance and did not want to reel him back in 2 weeks. And to be fair, they were partially right. He came second in the Belmont Stakes, But by then, the Triple Crown conversation had already moved on. Conquistador Cielo stole the show, romping to victory, and Gato del Sol's moment in the sun faded fast. Gato del Sol kept running, but he never recaptured the magic. He remained competitive, winning the Caballero handicap as a 4-year-old, but the Grade 1 victories never came. He eventually retired with a record of 37 starts, 7 wins, and $1.3 million in earnings. Then, in an unusual twist, he was sent to stand stud in Germany. It was a surprising move for a Derby winner, and while he sired a few solid runners, he never became a major breeding influence. But his story wasn't over yet. In 1999, at age 20, Gato del Sol was brought back home. Arthur Hancock III, the man who bred him, made sure his Derby champion would live out his final years at Stone Farm, the same place where his journey began. He spent his last days rolling in pastures of Kentucky, a forgotten champion living in peaceful obscurity. Gato del Sol passed away in 2007 at the age of 28, never quite achieving the legendary status of other Kentucky Derby winners. But for one day in May in 1982, he was the king of Churchill Downs. And today we remember him as one of the Kentucky Derby winners who deserve better than to be forgotten. So what do you think? Should Gato del Sol be remembered more? Let us know in the comments. And if you love diving into forgotten stories of horse racing, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, comment who you think we should do next. Thanks for watching Chasing the Past, where we bring back history back to life.
Now open! The Beat the Odds Horse Racing LLC store is officially open. With over 100 horse racing themed products, including shirts, hoodies, stickers, and more, you're sure to find something you love. Check it out now at www.btohr.com and discover your perfect match today. Don't miss out. Shop now and beat the odds.